The main thing we'll be manipulating again through the router control and visual overview is session variables. So to start with, let's take a look at the router control app. And we see here that we actually have a bit more content than we have in visual overview, namely these tabs for your matrices, and the configurations here are not shown right here. So that means we need to load the correct configuration or the correct tab from the get-go or select them as we go along. So let's start off with setting our correct configuration. For this, the keyword of the session variable is selected config, and I'll use the init var page shape data. So I'm defining shape data on my page now to define this. So I'll set the selected config to default. And this will initialize the selected config variable to the value default when we open the Visio page. Second thing I want to do is make sure I can select the matrix tabs correctly. For this, I'll create two buttons. One will be the RF matrix. And in there, we need to define our shape data again with the set variable shape data to variable with name select matrix. And we want to set this to RF matrix. I'll make a second shape alongside it for the SDI matrix. And we have to set the same variable, of course, but with a different value. Now if I save this and I go back to Cube, you'll see that we have the correct configuration now loaded in. You can see that from the input one that is now at the bottom right, just as it is in my default configurations first tab. So now we have actually the RF matrix selected by default, which is the first one. If I want to switch, I can click the SDI matrix button, and it will load the other tab. You can see the difference in the visualization here, just as an example. So now that we've managed to actually select the correct matrix and the correct configuration, we can also try to maybe link to the element for which we have that matrix. So the element on which the matrix parameter is located. For that, we have another session variable. Wrong Visio here. And the session variable's name is selected matrix element. So this will be populated by your router control, and you can then use it to link to a Visio shape. So I'll take the element shape we had from earlier from the dynamic list, and I'll put it on this page. And I actually want to also copy over the text with the current selection. And all I need to do is adjust the name of the variable. In this case, selected matrix element. Save this. And if we take a look at Cube, we can see that actually for our current matrix, this element is where we can find it. If I open the other matrix, you can see it immediately links to another element because the RF matrix is not on the same element as the SDI matrix. It's also possible to link to your selection of your input and your output, for instance. So you can select them here in the router control and then visualize them here with some info. Or you can do it the other way around by selecting them in your visual overview, then linking it to the router control. So a lot of options to be had. If you want to see all of the session variables, you can go to the help. And you can take a look at embedding a router control component. And there you can see the session variables used with router control components, and you can see that we have all kinds of things right here.